everyone, welcome to Modern Raven Tarot. Before we dive into the collective reading for the lunar eclipse full moon in Virgo, I wanted to talk briefly about this full moon and then also the messages that came through while I was clearing the cards, because I think that those messages are just as important as the collective tarot reading. This full moon, there is a strong emphasis of what we are leaving behind. Full moons are a time for release, and this eclipse is going to be heightened emotional energy related to perfectionism and overanalyzing situations. We want to embrace more of the Pisces energy because the North Node is in Pisces right now. Virgo is what the South Node is in right now, and that is what we are moving away from. So the perfectionism, the overanalyzing, the need for control, these are aspects that we are asking ourselves to let go of, to embrace more of a Piscean go with the flow energy. So see what house Virgo rules in your chart. See if you have any strong planetary placements in Virgo, because that could indicate areas of your life where you need to let go of control and go with the flow. Another thing that came through while I was clearing was indicating very heightened emotional energy and the need to stay offline as much as you can, because there's going to be a lot of drama in the collective that is going to be wanting to grab your attention. But as that shadow energy increases, whether or not your reaction to it is positive or negative, just your energy attached to it feeds that shadow energy. So do pay attention to that. Another thing that's coming through, archetypal energy of father, specifically the shadow and abusive authority. And so here's where we might be seeing in the collective the shadow energy of father, abusive authority, but also with that came justice and the King of Coins. And so I do think that the scales of justice are coming back into balance. Those who have the control, the abusive authority of needing power and control and hoarding money, because the coins, with financial indication, there's probably going to be a big shock that makes people feel like financial instability is coming. But with justice there, the scales are being brought back into balance. And so while we might have this heightened scare and this fear, that is what the shadow energy is using to keep people in control. Because another message that came through, if I didn't feel fear, guilt, or shame, what would I do now? And so here's where whatever comes through with this full moon, because it is supposed to be really intense, your shadow, anything holding you back from expressing yourself, from going after what you want, whether it be career, personal, relationships, there's a strong indication to release the control your shadow has when it uses guilt, shame, and fear. And with the collective too, this is where a lot of people could be fearful of expressing what they think is right when it comes to justice, to fairness, to balance. But now is the time for people collectively to come together, personally feel your empowerment, because another message that came through was empowerment. In the Green Witch Tarot, it was the potion card, and potion indicating the need for empowerment. So how can you take time to make sure that you are feeling super empowered with this full moon, regardless of what happens in the collective? Another message that came through, knighthood, past life energy of knighthood, and how loyalty can influence how we act on what we want. When you think of loyalty when it comes to knighthood in history, knights were loyal to the crown no matter what. And now we really want to contemplate, what does loyalty mean to me? How am I loyal to myself? How am I loyal to my community? Those who have a strong indication of being loyal to a certain moral compass, I feel like you're going to be feeling a lot lighter with this full moon. Those who have a karmic imbalance when it comes to knighthood and loyalty to community, loyalty to yourself, there's probably going to be more of a shakeup. What are you loyal to? Ask yourself that. Another thing that came through was the crystal energy of silver, which is the lunar path. This to me is really making sure that we recognize how important this full moon is for moving forward and releasing any shadow energy related to emotions that are holding us back. Emotional ties to something from the past that is not allowing us to move forward. Please ask yourself that in your personal life and in the collective. What are we emotionally attached to that is preventing us from stepping into a new age? Now, mutable signs are going to have a lot easier time probably to move through this full moon. So whatever you have to release emotionally, write it down, burn it, and release it. Because we are stepping into a time where, yes, March indicates a lot of chaos, but that chaos is clearing the way. We want to build strong foundations, but we want to have the patience to recognize where we need to start from. And know that the more you can stay in your personal power, the better off you will be. So, without further ado, let's get to our collective tarot for the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. Just another reminder to do your best to limit your time on social media, especially the days coming up to the eclipse and the days after the eclipse. There's going to be a lot of collective shadow influence. Now, you can also see that as a time to go within yourself, and if there are things that pop up that are triggering, to work through them. So take it how you will. I will say, though, that with those pre-shuffle messages, I'm getting a strong energy that we are going to be seeing a lot related to justice, a lot related to masculine power energy, authority, abuse of authority, father energy, those who are supposed to protect you, and abuse of authority. So just be mindful of that. Stay true to yourself. Stay grounded. Virgo, also Earth, if you can get out there and touch some grass, I highly, highly recommend it. Yeah, this is also too, standing in your integrity, applying yourself with integrity and passion. All right. So Leo energy too. If you're going to be feeling that ego energy, make sure that ego energy is just grounded in a sense of personal authority that is for the collective good. Okay. Because unfortunately, there are a lot of people who do see themselves on the quote right side of things, that they just, they are lost in the fog, I guess is how I would say that. But when it comes to feeling like our ships are coming, and this message here is saying justice is coming, all right? We're getting glimmers of it. We're getting glimmers of a lot of feminine power too. I'm noticing that hopefully we'll be getting more and more attention and ramping up a bit more. A lot of messages coming through. Wow. Yeah, Jupiter and Gemini. Okay, so that is an important message. With Jupiter and Gemini, with that expansion, with Mercury retrograde coming in, and the High Priestess. So we have to recognize that sometimes what we think might be our intuition talking to us might actually be coming from our shadow and coming from fear. Okay, and so be mindful during this time, and it could be with relationships, how we are showing up in relationships. That actually is something, just want to note really quick what astrology.com says. Learn to pick your battles and make peace with the things you can't change. What does perfect look like anyways? Now remember, Virgo, a perfectionist. Virgo is in the South Node. That means it's stuff that we're moving away from, okay? So over analytical perfectionism. I mean, the Swords card, that Eight of Swords, is all about analysis paralysis and overthinking and feeling stuck when we're not stuck, okay? So when it comes to our relationships, we do have to be mindful. If there are things that arise that kind of rub us the wrong way or aren't exactly what we want it to be, we're actually meant to let that go. Okay, we're actually meant to take a step back, let it go, and focus on, if this isn't what I want, what do I want? And am I looking, though, too hard? Like when it comes to the details, perhaps you're too deep in it that you're not actually seeing what is opening up, the abundance that's opening up. Okay, because yeah, sometimes when you're in something and you're really in depth with it, you know, and if you're an artist, a creative, you want it to be perfect before people see it. I get into that kind of energy. And so this is a point that Pisces is a North Node. Pisces just wants to express and love and be free and happy and have everybody be happy, right? It's like, it's just this unconditional love. And so when it comes to the justice and the balance, there's a lot that's blooming, but we do have to definitely let go collectively of the over analytical perfectionism, okay? Over analytical perfectionism. And know that like things that start out, like sometimes it takes a little while to bloom, okay? You don't know everything when you're born, right? Like when it comes to, you know, like childhood development, like that takes time, right? There's stages to it. So in any creation, there's going to be stages to it. And a lot of heavy energy. But again, this is stuff where it's like, put it into perspective, okay? And so again, with relationships, they keep popping up. Put it into perspective, put it into perspective. There's going to be a lot of our focus on flaws in ourselves, flaws in others. If we don't want to face the flaws in ourselves, we'll project it onto others. So be very, very mindful. Hold on to that Pisces compassion with strong boundaries. And we are going to be A-okay. Okay, let's see what we got going on for the full moon in Virgo. Okay. And also remember, this collective reading is, there's that King of Cups. This collective reading, no matter where you are in the world, this collective reading is for you. The important part is, no matter what your circumstances are, that we can connect together and focus our energy on the future in Pluto and Aquarius and, you know, the harmony and love. Pluto and Aquarius, judgment, answer the wake-up call. Again, King of Cups keeps showing up. Twice it was the message for the full moon in Leo and the new moon in Pisces. And then, of course, he pops up again, all right? Answer that wake-up call. What makes you feel emotionally fulfilled? What does that look like for the collective? Because, again, when you can focus on raising your vibration, raising what makes you feel good, regardless of what other people think. And that can be hard. Again, March 13th, people are laser focused. And the more people who don't want to face things in themselves, they're going to project even harder. So just be mindful of that, okay? And it's not saying not to take people's criticism, but take it with a grain of salt and take it with very strong boundaries, okay? Oh, well, ooh. Okay, well, that's good. Now, this is fascinating. Amazing. Okay. This took a direction I was actually not anticipating. But now with seeing him again in that middle, and he keeps popping up, okay, this is wild. All right, so again, I want all of you to think of like your teenage years, your early 20s. And if there's something that you were very passionate about that was like really drove you, okay, this is actually something that's funny. So there've been a lot of TikToks recently that are about the 2008 housing collapse and the recession and all that, right? And like people like putting on their TikToks music from that time. And, you know, millennials, we've been through how many unprecedented events, and it just keeps one after another. And they've been putting on music from that era, right? And millennials for us, like that was around our early 20s, okay? And so there is this vibe of like using music to like tune into that vibration has never left you, all right? Again, it's like tuning into a radio station. So make a playlist of like your ultimate 2008 jam list, okay? And like listen to it. Maybe share it with your friends, right? Like there's something here to that just, and when I saw that TikTok, I was like, man, that's a really good idea. And now seeing this, it makes even more sense. So overall energy, Knight of Cups. Okay, now the Knight of Cups, so there's a light and a shadow to this. So let's get to both, because again, we're going to be seeing a very heightened energy in both the light and the shadow. And so what are you focusing your attention on? And when you do tap into that light, like let's say you're on social media and you do tap into that light and you see something that gives you hope and confidence in the age of Aquarius, take that and then close your computer. I'm going back to that hermit that I keep seeing from that other deck and closing that computer, okay? And holding on to that light, all right? Now, Knight of Cups, this is Aquarius and Pisces. And so here's like, I'm getting very excited. Now, granted, I am a Pisces and I have like 98% mutable energy in my chart. So I am like beyond jazzed and motivated and giving you a big warm Pisces hug if you are not. But this is the energy that we need to focus on, okay? Spending time nurturing your dreams, okay? Really, really make sure that you do that, because this is emotional fulfillment. And you need to be in touch with your emotional motivations, okay? So the Knight of Cups, now that can be impulsive. Sometimes people forget and reject everything if it's not emotionally fulfilling to them. And that is some shadow energy, isn't it? Knights are impulsive. It's again like that teenage energy, having that full vitality to just take charge and go after it, right? Also, this is the possibility of a lot of proposals coming in that are emotionally fulfilling. But we do need to have some introspection. Virgo, Hermit, introspection of what it is that we think emotionally fulfills us. Is what emotionally fulfilled us years ago what it is emotionally fulfilling us now? It's not saying yes or no to that, but to really contemplate it, okay? When you are in touch with your deepest emotions, which is Pisces, and with that innovative thinking, you are unstoppable. We are unstoppable. And so here is also shame, guilt, and fear, the things that used to hold us back. Like what I was saying in the pre-shuffle energy of if I didn't feel shame or fear, what would I do? The Knight of Cups during this full moon is asking you that. And so there might be some things that really kind of make you go like, I got to do it now or I'm never going to do it type of energy, okay? And seeing the Knight of Coins in the area of what we need more of is also very, very interesting, but we'll get to that in a second because I want to just focus on this a second. Now, even though this is water energy, it's also ruled by fire. And so this is what are you passionate about? Okay, this is also a spark of confidence. And so again, if you're feeling super confident and there are people who try to take you down a peg, what I tell my 6-year-old, hurt people hurt other people. Okay. And so if you can instead give compassion, not having to absorb their energy, but giving compassion and moving on, that is the best thing you can do. Okay. But I am so unbelievably excited to see this for the light aspects of it. Now, just remember, we're going to see shadow aspects too. People being impulsively driven to do things because they think their ego thinks that it's emotionally fulfilling, right? What we need more of, the Knight of Coins, being completely engaged. So here's where the doom and gloom cannot consume, okay? You cannot consume the doom and gloom because that is going to prevent you from being productive in making your dreams become a reality. So this is also partnerships. And so here's where we need to also remember, if we're too much focused on the isolationism of like online, we're forgetting our community. And so this is a time to really be connected to those in your community, really be completely engaged in everything you're doing, and also with work. So if this is something you're building, also too, this is Leo and Virgo, which I love, also with some fire in it. So you want to make sure that you're patient. You want to make sure that you're showing up for yourself just as much as you show up for other people. You want to make sure that you're completely engaged in your day-to-day interactions. This is, the Great Awakening of the new moon in Pisces. What did I say? The Great Awakening. How are you waking up every day? How are you showing up every day? And if you're consuming that shadow illusion energy that is coming from what is crumbling away, it's hard to do that, isn't it? Okay, what we have the right amount of, again, why I'm so unbelievably excited for everybody. The wheel ruled by Jupiter and Gemini, expansion. We have the power right now with communication to expand what we want, to work with this. So again, work with the energy of the lunar path. Remember that came up too in the pre-shuffle. Work with this energy. Don't work against it. All right. These flaws come up, embrace them. These triggers come up, ask yourself why. This is a time where the emotion, the synchronicities, the letting things fall away to welcome in, like all of this, the wheel is working in your favor. Luck, destiny. Okay, so this is what we need to stay focused on if for some reason the collective tries to throw us a curveball. Okay, what we need less of, 5 of Coins, victimhood. Okay, Mercury and Pisces. We need less talk of how bad things are, like the collective. And it's not saying to ignore it. It's not saying to ignore it. But where is your focus? When this stuff comes up, where is the power? Because the light is within. And so here's where there's a lot of energy where people want you to feel dependent, feel powerless. Again, abusive authority. There are a lot of people in the collective everywhere where abusive authority, wanting people to be dependent while shaming them for dependency, is a common theme, right? And so that light comes from within. And so what we need is less of that shadow energy of feeling like we're left out in the cold, insecurities, worries, doubts, and fears. And so if you can see, if those things come to you with those themes of this new moon, of this full moon, it's because we're finally like just ripping these roots of the toxic shadow energy out and embracing the shadow for what it is, and letting our shadow know that we are safe, okay? Because remember, your shadow is a part of who you are. It's not something to get rid of, all right? Now, what you can change, the Emperor. How do you feel empowered? All right, this is ruled by Aries, and Aries season's coming, okay? And this is what's also interesting, because Aries season's only days away after this, well, like I guess a week, but Aries season starts on the 21st. And I do think when it comes to control, power, authority, we are going to be seeing shifts in what that means for the collective. All right. And so how are you the emperor of your own life? And how do you rule your inner kingdom, right? How do you rule? Because again, the confidence, we need assertiveness, we need stability, and we need Aries confidence. It doesn't have to be arrogant, and you being confident isn't arrogant. Okay, so there's a lot here questioning like how you see power as well. The power you give those in power versus the power you give yourself. A lot of these questions are going to be coming up. What you need to accept, the 9 of Swords. This is what I love, because this is Mars and Gemini, and the message from this card is don't fear the unknown, okay? You need to accept that you don't know what's going to happen, but how can you also say that you're gonna be okay? All right, the nightmares, if there's nightmares coming to you, remember, those nightmares often come, your shadow will bring these horrific nightmares to keep you stuck, to keep you in your place, because it's scared of change. And so when those nightmares do come up, you make sure you remind your shadow, looking in the mirror, doing a mantra of we are safe, I am safe. We are safe, and we embrace change because change is good, right? Embrace the Pisces. Pisces wants to keep swimming, all right? And so I want you to, the doubt, the questioning, remember, you need to accept that this is part of what this lunar cycle is giving us. And so it is natural for these thoughts, the doubts, the worry, the fear, the questioning to pop up at this time, because it's part of that lunar pull, right? That lunar path is pulling on you, right? And this is actually something that's fascinating. I saw a person who's on the most recent season of The Traders, and she was talking about how our bodies are like 86% water, and the moon controls the tide. So why wouldn't we think that the pull of the moon's energy would affect us as well? So that's really what I want you to think is like, if that's the energy of this, Virgo's in the South Node, perfectionism, worry, doubts, fears, overanalyzing, we need to accept that that's just part of this moon. But where things are heading and the outcome, the 3 of Wands, I am so unbelievably excited. The Sun in Aries, okay? So really, this is a reminder of saying by the time we get to Aries season, we're going to be feeling that optimism. I think that what this is really saying too, because North Node in Pisces, it takes some time to really like tune into that energy sometimes. Collectively, on a personal level, we're going to be having that optimism. We're going to be having the idea of like dreamy, optimistic, thinking big, sky is the limit type of Pisces energy. Personally, we will all be feeling this a lot more, is really what this message is saying. Our ships are coming in as that Pluto and Aquarius energy. And so I am so unbelievably excited. Okay, now I just realized we can't even see that poor guy. Okay, so let's start with some past life energy and see what past life energy is affecting the collective during the full moon in Virgo. This is a very, very exciting, oh my gosh, I didn't even see it popped out already. Very, very exciting. Okay, remember, authority figures. Stand in your power. Okay, angels, well, here's something and it fell near the 9 of Swords. And so if you need to call upon your angels, your guides, your ancestors, your family, loved ones who have passed, connect to them, this is the time to really do that, because the connection here is very, very, very strong. And just hold on to that and know that You are protected. You have to keep telling yourself that, okay? All right, now let's see what characters are being prominent during this during this full moon. Very, very, very funny. Okay, because that is Virgo, isn't it? Hermit. All right, one more character I want to see that's going to be on display in the collective. These are archetype cards, and so reminder that archetype, like we all have certain archetypal energy, and these are basically the characters that we will be seeing, okay? All right. So, oh, I'm sorry. That's the one that popped out. Okay. Yes. Okay. And so here we go. This Five of Coins, very much this child orphan energy, the shadow attributes. And so let's look at the light attributes. Independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of surviving. Shadow attributes, feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation, seeking inappropriate suffragette families. Okay, so we want to focus on the light. So I think that that's because we need less of that, right? Focus on the light within. If you have had that energy before, how are you stronger now? And the Hermit, light attributes, seek solitude to focus intently on inner life, serves personal creativity. Again, taking action on something that we're really passionate about. And shadow attributes, withdraws from society out of fear of negative judgments of others, refusing to help those in need. Okay, remember, Hermit ruled by Virgo. Virgo full moon, the conflict, the battles, perfectionism, seeing people's flaws, that could cause a lot of people to withdraw, okay? We need to be fully engaged. Just remember that. I'm telling you, make that playlist. Make that playlist. I'll even make a playlist and I'll share it on YouTube, okay? I don't even have a Spotify, or wait, I do have a Spotify account. I just don't use it. I will make a playlist and I will post it on YouTube, okay? All right, let's see what crystal energy is going to help us here. Celestial quartz, which is angelic truth. I'm telling you, this angel energy is going to be pretty potent. It's actually very interesting. Okay, lodestone, earth embrace, grounded Virgo energy. And aquamarine, I'm a Pisces, I'm a March Pisces. Aquamarine is my birthstone, simplification. All right, whatever's falling, like simplifying your life can be really good. And you know, like if we're seeing the grips of a squeeze, if you will, simplifying your life could actually work out great. So if you can carry these around with you, especially if you're trying to tune into your angels and your guides, try and see if you can get some celestial quartz, or even just clear quartz, honestly, if you want. But there's a lot connected to silver energy, to remember silver, that lunar path. So fascinating. Okay, now let's see. Let's get an empowering question here. What empowering question is going to help the collective during the full moon? Oh, there it is. Okay. What is the most important thing for me in this moment? All right. And again, important, like this is expressing yourself and going after what emotionally fulfills you without fear, guilt, or shame. What is the most important thing for me in this moment? Write it down, right? And while you're writing that down, release any negative shadow energy that is having you focus on the flaws, having you like needing it to be perfect and perfectionism, like, right? Like whatever is most important to you comes to you and you embrace it. Flaws and all. All right. We are going to do one from the Green Witch Tarot, and then I'm going to do a sign-by-sign pull for everybody. I hope, honestly, you guys are as excited as I am, because again, this is seeing the Three of Wands. I can't tell you how excited that makes me, because again, that being this personal energy, like collectively, like having that optimism coming back and feeling, you know, it's not saying everything's going to be perfect, but me as a Pisces and having that glimmer of people seeing that optimism and you know, Delulu energy, if you will. All right. Oh, I like this one. Cup of tea. patience and reassessment. Okay, so this is very interesting because with this analytical, if we don't get too far deep down into over it analyzing things, we can really think like, is there anything in my life I need to reassess? Relationships, routines, habits, like there's a lot to process there. And honestly, just having a cup of tea and like reflecting, something that it's interesting enough, I just bought some black tea because I don't really, I'm like, you know what, I don't drink tea. And if for some reason tariffs on coffee go up, I should probably start drinking some tea. And this is a really wonderful energy of just pouring a cup of tea and sitting, you know, by your window and just reminding yourself that to have the patience. So again, this patience is coming in with this, like, we need time to rebuild. We need time to grow, like all of that stuff. We just have to be mindful of, okay? And so just stay grounded, stay off that social media as much as you can. Trust me, I know it's hard. I'm guilty of it. And so I'm not saying that to, you know, point anybody out. We all do it, right? And another thing too is what's the reality of that? With like, you know, 60, 70% of it being bots, what does it even matter, right? So if you've been preventing yourself from putting yourself out there because of what other people think, who cares? Do it, all right? And then also, remember, if that negativity comes up, just block it and move on. All right, so let's get a sign by sign for, oh, nice. This full moon, Aries, 9 of Cups, something, again, we're getting closer to your season, and so this makes sense where it's like you're getting this emotional satisfaction and fulfillment. Remember to use the light, provide warmth and light for others, and you are going to see a lot of emotional satisfaction. This is personal, right? So personal satisfaction. So stay away from that social media, and you're going to be okay. Amazing. Taurus, 6 of Cups with 9 of Pentacles. Something that is so emotionally fulfilling, a childhood energy, which I love. Make sure to treat yourself. There is this energy that you do have the ability to treat yourself. Just be mindful of the indulgence aspect. I'm a Pisces, I get it, all right? I'm totally aligned with your energy when it comes to that. But you have an opportunity to treat yourself. The gold too is really sticking out to me. And so the more that you can appreciate everything you have, the more abundance you're going to see. But I'm getting, like, again, for both of you so far, really lighthearted energy. That's wonderful to see. All right, Geminis, what do we got for Geminis? Geminis, 5 of Cups. Okay, so I do see, because of that Mars and Gemini energy I felt earlier, 5 of Cups, like emotional disappointment, loss, feeling like everything I worked on, you know, like a disappointment, but you have to remember what you're still taking away from it. So if for some reason there is a change, and again, this feels personal, right? But if there's for some reason this energy of like regret or disappointment, it's a stepping stone, and you've learned a lot, and you're building something new with these 2 cups, okay? So this is Mars and Scorpio, and so embracing the transformation of whatever this is going to take you really far, okay? And releasing it. Full moons meant to release, okay? And so this could be something where you you're so focused on how it looked that you lost what it really meant. And again, just accepting whatever has been lost in the past. It's just time to take these 2 cups and move on, all right? And cross this bridge. I'm really getting like there's something more across this bridge, across this Pisces water, okay? Bridge over troubled water. Listen to that song. That song might have a strong connection to you, Gemini. Bridge over troubled water, because there's something more for you. Okay. Cancers, what do Cancers need to hear? Oh, Cancers, look at you moving on too. Okay, so Gemini and Cancer, 6 of Swords, calmer waters, moving to calmer waters. You see how there's all these like the current and the waves, and then over here it's nice and calm. Whatever it is you're moving away from, it's moving to calmer waters. And so you do have to remind yourself. This is also Aquarius energy, okay? And so Mercury in Aquarius, you have to think of the future. Think of where you're heading, not what you're leaving behind, okay? And again, on a personal level, it could be even family related, but I get more that this is in your head. This is more so in your head of a way of being, like a way of thinking, like you had a way of thinking that you're moving away from, and perhaps it's a change in your life, you know what I mean? Like a major life change that has personally affected you, Cancers. Okay, Leos, the devil. All right, Leos. That collective shadow energy, you're going to be feeling very, very strong. Now, Leos, I want you to be very kind with yourself, but I also want you to face and accept the shadow energy within yourself. Do not be chained to the illusion of that shadow that is in the collective. There's some like the devil's got a hold of you, you know that saying? There's something here that really has a hold on you that is almost like the narrative from the collective, you know, like misinformation or fake news, or, you know, there's just something here where it's like, I really want you to be mindful of what you are attached to. It could even be bad habits and bad, you know, like, again, doom scrolling and burnout, and then you don't have time for your dreams. There's something to that where this to me says it's something within the collective that has personally got a hold on you. And so again, detach, self-care, understand the nature of appearances, not only in others, but in yourself, and be very, very mindful of being critical of others, okay? Be very, very mindful. All right, Virgos. Oh, well, this is exciting, Virgos. 8 of Wands. And so, Virgos, you are ready to move on. You're ready to get out there. This is also Mercury and Sagittarius. And so I do think your thinking is very passion forward, if you will, right? And this can indicate rapid travel, rapid communication. But what I get is like, you're ready for adventure. And that's something that perhaps in the past you weren't ready for. But now, again, your shadow energy of Pisces. Pisces is your polar natal sign. And Pisces has always been encouraging in that energy of like, go out there, do it, live life, travel. Do what you want, because this is the time to do it. And so this is something personally that's driving you within, and your thoughts. You're getting that itch to travel, right? Like it keeps popping up in your head, Virgos. And this is saying yes. Say yes to it. If you get an opportunity, yes. You're going to get that email like, hey, you want to go on this trip? Say yes, right? Just a big energy of saying yes to whatever that travel is. All right. Libras. What do Libras need to hear during Libras? All right, the Tower. Now remember, the Tower can indicate breakdown or breakthrough. What are you choosing? Break down or break through? And so again, collective energy. So okay. This is interesting because so far everybody's had personal energy except for you and Leos. So there's something going on with you and Leos, Libra, that you are attached to this, whatever's going on in the collective. And I do see, because of seeing justice so much, you are seeing the eclipse, but it's like, how are you interpreting that? And be aligned with that lightning bolt of change, okay? You know what? I'm going to get you a clarifier, because why not? Yeah, you have a choice of how you're going to see it, Libras. You're going to have a choice on how you choose to focus your energy. Remember, you're an air sign, swords, okay? You have the power to choose what you focus your attention on and how you move forward. Choose the cup that's fulfilling, right? There is something here with emotional renewal, but it's your choice, okay? All right, Scorpios. What does Scorpios need to hear for Virgo? Oh, Scorpios, look at you. Okay, Scorpios. So that energy of that 5 of coins, 5 of pentacles, is going to be really big and focus on you. The world, though, karmic completion. So if you have been feeling this energy, you shine that light even more. If you have been feeling any, if you've been holding back from expressing yourself, something that you're passionate about, especially you're probably a creative, you're a water sign, now is the time to liberate yourself. The world is ruled by Saturn, and it is a very strong fulfillment, success, karmic completion, feeling your place in the universe, feeling free. You have the magic in your hands, right? And again, there's a strong message of liberation. And look where you are. You're up here. Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, and Taurus. And so you're meant to, and look at how it's coming up to you. This is exciting. So something major is taking that energy to remind you that the light comes from within. And when you shine that light, success is yours. Okay, Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to hear for Sagittarius. All right. If you are if you're feeling kind of generous, then now is the time to express that. If you might be feeling like, a gift might be coming to you though too. For some reason though, I see you as the benefactor, if you will, gifting somebody else something this week. And so if you have the ability to treat somebody, treat somebody. It's just mindful of you understanding your what your ego's deriving from it. But honestly, I don't see anything too negative about this. I just feel like you're in a place to like really enjoy yourself and have a good time, and recognize that when you are in this vibration, like more comes to you as well. Okay. All right. So let's see. What do we got here for Capricorns? All right. What are Capricorns? Oh, Capricorns. All right. So again, with this, all right, now I am I'm not an astrologer, so I have to look up if Capricorn, Libra, and Leos are in the same bracket, like cardinal or fixed. And it would honestly, if you are, it would make sense, because there's so much mutable energy that fixed signs could really have difficulty with this. Okay. The Moon and the Death card. You are feeling heavily, again, probably because that Capricorn paradigm that we're leaving, that shadow is creeping up on you. You're probably, nightmares, and we have to accept the new that's coming in. All right. You want to not focus on what's going behind, because look at the sun. The collapse of whatever is happening is the sun is rising. All right. And so this is saying yes to this shift. And again, if you're fixed and you're, digging your heels in the ground, that can be hard. And the moon, your emotions, this can be intuition, but it can also be illusions. So be very mindful of how you are seeing this new coming in. All right. Because we need to transform, release, transformation, accepting change. Okay, I'm just getting that shadow is creeping up on you, but this isn't something where this is an internal thing, Capricorns. Okay, so just remember that, and this is a big one. Okay, you and actually, I'm sorry, Scorpios also got it, but they got it with this personal energy. Okay, so Capricorns, stay grounded, but say yes to change. Okay, all right. Aquarius. What do we got for Aquarius? Nice. Aquarius, justice. And so this makes perfect sense, because Pluto is in your sign, Aquarius. You are you're fired up with this. So again, just be very mindful of over criticizing other people, being a perfectionist in regards to, justice being served and how it's served. And just make sure you got your shadow in check, because the balance is here. You are bringing in that balance. And so again, when it comes to you and your energy and how you are applying your energy, please make sure that you know how important it is. Please make sure you're showing up for yourself every day. Please make sure your thoughts are aligned with this new age. Please make sure that you're just staying focused on what is coming in, because this is a major shift for you. Okay. And so you could see, justice being served in a sense in your life, personally, professionally. But I'm getting a lot of strong, powerful confidence. Remember, the more we get into the age of Aquarius, the more you're going to be feeling like super confident in your power. Okay. All right. So Pisces, last but not least, King of Wands, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Pisces, this is confidence that you've probably never felt before. And so this is very excited to see. And it can be related to your ego, because we see that, or I'm sorry, that's not a lion, but it sure looks like a lion. Maybe it is a lion. I think that might be Taurus energy, actually. But regardless, we have the fire here. And I'm going with my intuition that this is related to ego energy and really feeling confident, really feeling like you're the king or queen sitting on their throne. And this is very personal. And so if this isn't you, this is somebody coming into your life who is here to perhaps offer you something and related to what you're passionate about. But also just remember, like, you have to go out there. Nothing ventured, nothing gained just keeps popping up over and over. And that is the message that you need, okay? All right, so let's do one last one for the collective. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Please do hit that like button, comment, subscribe. Look at the tarot is like the star, okay? Please, Aquarius, Pluto and Aquarius. The water bearer in Pisces season, bringing in the new water, okay? Like watering the earth with the new. Liberation, right? There's wish upon a star. Don't forget to wish upon a star and hold on to hope, hold on to inspiration, hold on to that vision, feel reborn, feel revitalized. Thank you so much for joining me. And as always, shine your inner light. We've got this.